I were to ask everyone in this room right now what they think a children's book needs for it to be considered a great children's book, I would get so many different answers. Some answers might be great, some answers might be good, and some answers might be just awful. But who is to say that any of those answers are right or wrong? It is all just based upon one's opinion. What one person might consider to be great might not be considered great to someone else. I'm sure everyone here had a favorite author when they were a child. My favorite authors have always been a tie between Eric Carle and Robert Munsch. Eric Carle has always been one of my favorite authors because his books are just so colorful, as you can see right here. And also because his books keep children engaged and have them reading along with you. Robert Munsch was my other favorite author because his books were funny. Children laugh while the books are being read. What and writing one? Well, guess what? You don't have to wait any longer. I'm going to tell you. Children's book. If you already have a children, this shouldn't be a problem. You can start. You're going to have to writing. You're going to be writing what you like from the books and what you don't like from the books. Or hundreds of sticky notes that you can put in books from the front of the book to the back of the book. Step 2. Now you're going to need to decide what age group you want to gear your children's book towards. This depends on your own personal preference. If you have children, you can gear the book towards children of that age. But if you don't have children, then you can just simply gear that book towards the age that you prefer. Basically, the age group you want to write for is all about preference, which is okay. Step 3. Step 2 and 3 are the two steps that go together. In step 3, you will have to decide whether your book will have an even mix of pictures, more words than pictures, or more pictures than words. The reasoning behind why step 2 and 3 go together is because once you have decided what age group you want to gear your children's book towards, then it's going to be easier to decide the amount of pictures or the amount of words. For example, if you gear the book towards children who are around the age of 10, then you are going to obviously have more words and pictures. But if you gear the book towards children who are around the age of 4, then obviously it's going to have more pictures and words. Step 4. Now here comes the hardest decision you will ever have to make. You're going to have to decide what the children's book will be about. This is where step 1 comes into play. Remember that pros and cons chart or the hundreds of sticky notes? Yeah, those. All those things you did and didn't like about the certain books will help you decide what you want your children's book to be about. But that isn't the only factor that will help you decide. Personal experiences, a story that your child may or may not have thought of with his or her imagination, or even a dream that you may have had are all factors that will help you decide what you want your children's book to be about. 5. Now write a draft in a garbage can because I guarantee you by the time you are done writing your children's book, you will be great at shooting. A rough draft of your essay should have coffee stains on it. For your children's book. Step 6. Once you have finally look over the draft copy of your book. This is your chance to check for any grammar or spelling mistakes add or change anything that you believe does not make any sense anymore. Step 7. The moment of truth has come. It is time for you to get the opinion of what others think of your children's book. You can give the book to a family member, a friend, or you can even read the book to a child to see how they react to it. Don't be afraid to tell the person that you give a copy of your draft to be honest. It's easier to go back and revise the book now than later. That being said, all final changes are up to you, but keep an open mind. Step 8. Now it is time to find a publisher and do some more research. Before choosing any publisher, I recommend choosing a publisher that has published children's books in the past and a publisher that will make sure that your book goes out to bookstores in your area as well as around the world. Step 9. The day is finally here, the day you get your book published. This is also the day that you get to celebrate. I recommend cake and lots of it. If you still feel motivated and love writing a children's book so much, you can even go out and write another one. Do whatever you want. Thank you for listening, and I can't wait to read the children's books that you wrote.